Hi everybody, it's Deb. I'm back. So today we're going to be doing a fun little canvas using the April Trace Jolie mixed media kit. And with this kit, you get some fun little sprays or spritzes, I should say, that are from the Distress Spritz collection over at Tim Holtz Ranger. And then we get a fun little stencil by a little birdie. And then we get two doilies, and we're going to be putting these on. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them. I may just use one. I don't know yet. And then, of course, you get your canvas. And I am going to be bringing in some other items from the card kit. I've cut out a couple of things. I'm going to be bringing in a couple of the little dragonflies, chipboard dragonflies, flowers, and I cut out this little guy. I just thought that was so pretty. And so I wanted to use those on here. And then I think I'm going to bring in some other chipboard pieces. If I do, I'll let you know. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to get started, I went ahead and sprayed some of the spritzes on the canvas already. Now, at this point, I did not prep the canvas. I think I should have. You don't have to, but if you do have gesso or whether it's clear or the white, you can go ahead and place that on top. I didn't do that yet, and you can. It's not a necessity, but I just think it probably holds better. So I went ahead and dabbed a few places, and as you saw, the spritz came off. So I went ahead and I just wanted to share with you what would happen if you did that. And so what I did is I went ahead and came back in, spritzed down some of the sprays, and just kind of used my heat gun to move that liquid around. And I really like how this came out. After it dried a little bit, then I came in with my paper towel and kind of dabbed up where I wanted. And it looks kind of watercolory. I really like how that looks. And don't forget to wipe the nozzles of your spritzes, okay? So once I did that, I came back in and I did put clear gesso on top, which kind of muted it a little bit. And as you can see, it kind of blended everything together. So I came back in, sprayed some more colors up on top, sprayed more of the antique linen, and I loved how that cracked pistachio looked, so I came in with that. Next, I went ahead and grabbed this 6x6 stencil by TCW that was in one of our past kits from last year. And if it's still available, I'll put the link down below. But I thought this stencil went perfect with the picture that I'm going to be using of the peacock because of the way that it's cut, and it looks like little peacock feathers to me. So I went ahead and did that. And then you're going to wipe your stencil off at every time you use it. So I went ahead and did that. Then I just grabbed my sprays and spritzed a little bit here and there. And then I went ahead and wiped off and then put it back on. And I just did that sporadically because that way it doesn't leak onto the next color that you're going to be using. So again, you want to shake every time you use one of these because the color or the little mica flakes will go to the bottom, and then you won't get that really nice shiny color that you want on top of whatever you're spraying. So here I did some up here. Again, I'm in love with that cracked pistachio. It is absolutely gorgeous. I just love that color, and I love this. See, this preserves as well. Then you're going to go ahead and dry it with your heat gun. Now you can let this air dry if you want to. It's totally however you want to do this. Because of video reason, I'm doing a tutorial for you. I went ahead and used my heat gun. So next I went ahead and came back in with the sprays again using that same stencil and just kind of placed it where I wanted some more of that feathery look, and again dried it with the heat gun. Then I came in with the stencil that's in the mixed media kit, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of apply that with our ink. So I had some of the Seedless Preserve Distress ink, and I went ahead and grabbed my little foam applicator and went ahead and just brushed that on. Now I didn't make it very dark. You can make it as dark or as light as you want, and it's totally up to you. I used the Seedless Preserve, but you can use the crushed olive, cracked pistachio, whatever you have. Or if you don't have any of those and you want to use, I thought like a brown would look really pretty with this, or like a camel kind of color would look really pretty. Just something light behind this, it would bring that out. And so I just thought that this would look really nice. And so I did do this technique around the canvas sporadically. I didn't do a whole bunch of the larger little medallions there, or the doily. I didn't do a whole lot. I just did a couple of different spaces. So here I put it down in the left hand corner and just kind of brushed that on and just kind of held it with my finger, and then I did one up on top. I did not do this one very dark. It's very light, like super light. And I did not do it very dark. And then I did another one down in the right hand, kind of not really in the corner, just down there near the corner. And that's about it. Next I came in with the doilies that came in the kit, and I went ahead and cut them apart. And I used the sprays to color them. So the first one I used is antique linen, and I just spritzed around it, and then these dried fairly quickly. I did not have to use my heat gun. You can if you want to, but you don't really need to. They dried really quick. And then I went ahead and set this aside to dry. Then I just wiped up the excess. My mat is crazy. It's so painted on and so used, right? It's just loved. So here I'm stretching out the doily just to try to get it to, kind of fluff out just a little bit more. And then I came back in with, I believe it was the cracked pistachio, and I sprayed that around the outside first. And so it goes on dark, and then once it's dried, it will lighten up. So if you want to spray it, and then once it's dried, you can go ahead and put more on, however, to get the darkness that you would like on here. And then in the middle, I used the crushed olive. I do have to say I didn't like the two combinations at first, but once it dried, it does kind of blend together really nice. The middle part looks a little bit lighter than the outer, which is kind of weird, but it really looked nice once it's dried. You can use any color, actually. If you have any of the spritz colors or stains, you can use the stains as well. So if you wanted to use those on the doilies, definitely use those to enhance or, change the color from white to whatever you would like to use on your canvas or on your cloths or doilies, whatever. After I was done spraying the other one, and this one was a little bit dry, I came back in and I used again that cracked pistachio. I know I say I love that color. I am like addicted to that color. I just absolutely love it. And I just kind of sprayed it around. I sprayed it in the middle, and then I sprayed it on the outside as well, because I really wanted it to match this image right here, as that's the image we're going to be putting on top of our canvas. And that image is actually from the card kit. So once I was done, I set this aside to dry, and we're going to move on to the chipboard pieces. Now, before I started the chipboard pieces, I did go ahead and gesso all of the front and back of the dragonflies. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I just do, just because I never know what I'm going to use on my chipboard pieces. I don't know if I'm going to use paint or whatever, and so it's just easier for me to go ahead and just get those done, and they're done. I don't have to worry about it later. So I used my seedless preserves and inked up the wings with that, and I just did the front. I didn't do the back. And then I went ahead and came back in with the seedless preserve spray, and I went ahead and sprayed it on there just like that. And you're just going to spray a little bit, and then I just went ahead and grabbed my heat gun, and you can heat this up to let it dry, or you can just set it aside and let it dry, whichever you prefer. So after I went ahead and dried the dragonfly, I went ahead and just took the dropper from the cracked pistachio and placed that in the middle of the dragonflies, and just painted those pieces green. So that's how I got just the middle parts done of the dragonfly. After that, I went ahead and spritzed it with the antique linen, and I love the shine of that. Here's a picture of everything done, so both of the doilies and the dragonflies. So the next technique I want to share with you real quick is you can take a chipboard piece and use a pigment ink. I'm using Encore Ultimate Metallic Gold, and I just inked up that little half of that chipboard piece down there. And here I'm sharing with you that you don't have to prepare your chipboard or anything. All you have to do is just grab your chipboard piece and get your pigment ink and tap it on top, and then set it aside and let it dry. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put on our little items here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this doily. Now you can always save the other piece for later if you want to. You just don't need the whole thing unless you want to put the whole thing on top. It's totally up to you. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and grab some foam tape, because we do need to lift part of this up. But I end up putting the foam tape all the way around, just the edges. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the backing and place this up on top of that doily, just like that. And you're just going to go ahead, and that's what it's going to look like. Next, you're going to go ahead and grab whatever you want to place on the bottom. I'm using this beautiful little chipboard plate piece from Jolie. I'll put the link down below. This comes in 2 different pieces, so you get a top piece and a bottom piece, and they are just beautiful. And so I'll put the link down below so you can check them out. And I do go ahead and place glue all over the bottom, and I'm not too worried about the glue showing through because the glue does dry clear, so we'll don't have to worry about that. Next, I took that extra doily piece and I wrapped it around the bottom of the flowers, but I ended up taking it off. I just didn't like how it looked, so it just looked kind of funny to me and kind of bulky, and so I decided not to use it, and you'll see here in a minute. And then I found this beautiful little button in my stash, and I went ahead and I'm going to place that on top there. Okay, so I went ahead and hot glued the flowers on, and as you can see, I removed some of the stems from them as well. So I just didn't like the longer stem poking out. So I went ahead and cut those down, and then there's the button. I'm going to go ahead and place that on top. And I just think this looks so much better without that bulk, the bulk of that doily on the bottom of the stems from the flowers. So I really like it. Now we're going to go ahead and add in the dragonflies, and they are all dried up and ready to be attached. So we're going to go ahead and glue those on. And then we're going to go ahead and add on that purple one. The purple one is so pretty, right? Ugh, I love it. And with the gold spritz on it. And I put gold spritz on both of them, just so you know. Now I'm going to go ahead and use these sentiments. Now the sentiments are from the scrapbook kit from last month. And I just took my gold pen and went around the edges. And then I took a black marker and then went around the edges as well. And just to kind of give them a little bit more depth so they can be a little bit more noticeable. And I love the sentiment. It says, paint your dreams, be boldly creative. And so we're done, y'all. Okay, so we finished this beautiful little canvas piece that we have from the mixed media kit, and I added the flowers and the little peacock image, the little butterflies, and we also did some stenciling. So the stencils that I used were actually, one was from the mixed media kit and the other one was from a previous kit. So let me grab those real quick. This one was from the mixed media kit along with the spritzes that we used. And then the other stencil that I used was actually from a previous kit. I'm not sure if the kit is still available. It is from the August 2025 kit, and so you can go ahead and take a look for that. I'll also put the link down below for you. Now this piece right here, which is the chipboard, that is in the shop, and I'll put the link down below for you if you're interested in using that. And then we have the butterflies too that are also in the kits. And so I'll put everything that I used from the scrapbook kit, from the card kit and the mixed media kit. I'll put them all down below for you so you can check them out. We also used the spritz on the little doilies that we had, and this is the one that dried, and it dried with that really pretty green, and I just think that is so pretty. Now with this one we mixed the gold and we mixed the cracked pistachio with that, and it turned out really nice. I really love how that looked. And then on the butterflies we went ahead and used the spritz along with I put on top the, what you call it, what is it called? I put diamond glaze on top of the butterflies just to give them a little bit more shine. So I just love how they look, and they're so pretty. And that's about it, you guys. I mean, we did a lot of different techniques on this one, and I really like how this turned out. I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. And thanks again for joining me. Take care, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye. Thanks everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the project. I have some more fun craft videos for you here down below. And don't forget to hop on over to Trace Jolie's shop to check out all the beautiful kits and chipboard pieces she has in her shop.